we can start with the new Trackmania. Go right into it. What's your first impression of the things you saw in Lyon, the things you have seen now later?
Well, if we go back to Lyon, I didn't know anything. I hadn't seen any screenshots. I don't know if others had, but either way, I was really impressed. I thought the game looked fresh. It looked like a game that's from 2020 and not from 2010, which is, in my opinion, really important these days. I mean, the graphics should be up to date. Let's just say that. In terms of the new blocks, I mean, for me, the thing that stood out was there's no Rammsteins anymore. Like, you can't even see them. I don't know how that will affect the physics, but I guess that you can't really Rammstein bug at all.
Yeah.
Neither through landing or drifting. So it looks smoother, I guess. The dirt is a bit different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that I'm a big dirt fan to begin
It's
with.
a good thing for you.
Yeah. I might stay away from that. But no, I think the small additions with like the poles and the trees and all that stuff, it just makes the game aesthetically look better. So that's all I can say for now from what I've seen.
I saw some people asking when it was virtual, it said maybe the game looks too childish and maybe it doesn't look as good, but you would say that you liked the new design.
It depends. Like, we don't know what the view or agenda with the Trackmania from Ubisoft's perspective is, because if they wanted to look like a sim racing game, then obviously it's too childish. I wouldn't use childish, but like, it's catered towards the younger generation, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think you need to find a mix, and in this case, it's a good idea for new people to come into the game because it looks better, it looks more beautiful.
And for people that say that, okay, why is Ubisoft now? They have Trackmania SWC, Trackmania Nation Forever, Trackmania 2 Stadium. Why are they releasing a 4th edition of the stadium and sort of like milking what has been a success since 2006?
Yeah, that is a good question. I don't know if it ever was possible to keep building on what they had.
Yeah.
Maybe they had to make a new game. But when they decided to do that, I believe it's a good decision to keep the same model that has been working in the past. I don't care if people think it's milking. It is the environment, the game that has been the most popular.
Yeah.
It is the one that most people want to be competitive. So why not make a new version? And we can go to the pricing thing later, but I think it's a good decision. It doesn't make much sense to make new games, at least if they want to build it competitively, which to me it looks like they want to with this.
Yeah, go ahead with the pricing. I said that it's a good move. Talking about the esports side, what is your overall view? We have seen some drama with people being not pleased with it. We've seen some hardcores being pleased with it. What is your view on it?
I mean, personally, I like it, but I can see both sides here. Like, from a casual's perspective, they might believe it's too expensive. While I do see that point, I don't agree at all, because it's very little money per month. If you play the casual, like the starter edition, you get to keep the track of the day, and then if you pay like $2 a month or something, you get the next edition. Even though it's a subscription, that's fine. Other games do that as well, and they bring out much less content. I have used FIFA as an example. There's rarely any changes there, and it costs like $60-70 per year.
Yeah.
I'm one of those that keep buying it. So, I mean, I'm as stupid as others.
Yeah.
But if you like the game, I think you should support it. And this is the key, though. Nadeo or Ubisoft, they need to pump out the content continuously to warrant the subscription model. Otherwise, it might be a backlash.
Yeah, imagine if, let's say this was a story for Trackmania 2 Stadium, released 7 years ago, and if you had the updates we had in the past with Trackmania 2 Stadium, do you think that people would still resubscribe to Trackmania 2 Stadium if they had the same pricing model?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't see why they wouldn't. If you like a game, you're going to subscribe to it.
Yeah.
Even if it's, by your standards, a little bit pricey. And for me, and I know for a lot of others as well, I weigh up the time I use on something to the price.
Yeah.
So like whenever I buy new headphones, how much am I going to use them? It's not really like the same comparison, because there's different price ranges here, but I think you can apply it to Trackmania as well. If you know you're going to play like 20 hours a week, then I think this price won't matter at all.
But do you think when you talk about the different tiers, you have some sort of locks with each tier? Are you agreeing with it, or should they maybe have access someone to the new starters to somewhere else? Maybe lock something else out, or
So I haven't really like figured out completely what all the
yeah.
locks are, so you might need to help me here. But as far as I know, the official competitions like TMGL, they're only for the club, right?
yeah,
But what about all the other tournaments?
they are in the starter access
Okay,
as far
okay.
as I know.
Well, if it's that way, then I don't mind it,
Yeah.
because the club is meant to like incentivize people to try to become competitive. Some people will be discouraged by this because it's more expensive to play it, but as long as there's other features that people want, then I don't mind it. But there needs to be a way for players to compete in tournaments without needing the club edition. So if it is like you said,
Yeah.
you can play like, let's say, some
TTC last week.
well,
like-
not like TTCs or other team tournaments like TCS or whatever it's
Yeah.
called. I wanted to say ESL, but RIP.
Rip.
That's how boomer I am. Yeah, but as long as you can play those type of tournaments in the starter edition, then I'm fine with how it is.
Matthias Pedersen asked, related to the pricing, do you think that this is going to be a good or bad thing for Nadeo in the long run?
I
Will
think-
they eventually earn more money then?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think so. But it requires the player base to increase. People need to understand that Nadeo as a business, I don't think they've earned like a lot of money on Trackmania 2, besides the sales from when the game came out, which was like, what was it, $28? So
don't
something
remember.
like that. I can't remember. It was pretty cheap at least. So this is. It has like a double feature here. It has two sides, so it's a way for people to be competitive and support the game, while Nadeo are able to earn money from the game. And this can, in the future, be put into other areas inside the game, or maybe even a new game in like 10 years.
We have seen some information about what we can know, but there are certain topics we don't really know about. When I ask people what is Trackmania missing the most, it's matchmaking or sort of a ranking system.
Yeah.
Do you think that that will be implemented, or should it be implemented?
If you look at other games from Ubisoft, at least the multiplayer games, I believe there is a ranking system. I mean, Trackmania had it, but not in a good way.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think they should do it. It's another way to get people engaged in the game. It gives people a motive with how they play. So like for someone that's not necessarily super competitive and already well established in the scene, they have a goal. So they can be like, okay, within Christmas, I'm gonna be rank 1 in Zimbabwe,
yeah.
for example. Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's enough of motive for someone to keep playing. So I definitely think it's something that is needed, and this can also be utilized for other orgs to pick up players for
Yeah.
tournaments, and also maybe have like for open Grand League or something, you can qualify by being high on the leaderboard. So yeah, I think it's an addition that they should add, and if they haven't, they need to consider it for the future.
Yeah. You talk about updates. I mean, we talk about them now need to update, but what updates do you think they should update in the future? Is it just going to be new blocks? Is it just going to be new designs? What should they update in the future for?
I mean, I'm not a game designer, so it's a bit difficult to discuss. But well, first of all, they need to bring out tracks
Yeah.
all the time, which they have said they're doing with like the daily tracks. But I think they need to go even further beyond that. At tournaments, there need to be continuous tournaments. In my opinion, there needs to be more tournaments than we even need. Like
Yeah.
there has to be a broad variety of tournaments to pick from. Even if they overlap, it's fine,
Yeah.
as long as there's enough. And I think there should be specific ones for tiers of skill level, so everyone has a chance to play and maybe feel like they are experiencing something good from it. Besides that, graphics-wise, yeah, don't mind. I would prefer if the game was already so well built from the beginning that they don't need many like graphic updates and such. But the most important thing for me is the technical side of playing, so like map updates and such.
Yeah.